Hello, I am the Witch of Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading for Gemini moons. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. There we go. So as I'm shuffling out these cards, I invite you to take some deep breaths. To calm yourself, ground yourself, center yourself. Get comfy, get relaxed. There we go. Oh, there we go. Let's get our last one. There we go. All right, let's take a look at your cards. So for the Oracle card, we have Ritual with the Earth element and Leo. And then for your tarot cards, we have the Moon, the Magician, King of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Chalices, aka Nine of Cups, Eight of Wands reversed, and Nature reversed, aka the Devil reversed. So given that we have this Ritual card here along with all of these other cards that we have here, this reading is going to be talking about, or is talking in reference to some sort of goal that you're pursuing, something that you're working towards or working on. I kind of want to start off here with this Moon card and the Nine of Cups because this Oracle card also references that. With the Moon, we're talking about things that are some sort of force in all of this that is out of your control, whether that be like just the nature of what it is that you're doing or maybe some sort of person. I think there's just some part of all of this that may be really frustrating to you because there's these factors that you just can't quite control or don't really know how to determine or work with or whatever the case. But we have this Nine of Cups below it, which tells me that even though these factors are there and do exist, it's actually in your best interest to go with the flow, for better or worse. Nine of Cups is very much associated with success, specifically like material success. So I think like... And especially considering we have this upright, like even though those things are there, this reading is encouraging you to not get too wrapped up in that. Just focus on yourself and what you're doing, because I think in this case it's not necessarily going to hurt you. It's just something you're better off just accepting as being just how it is and working with it the best you can. You know what I mean? So speaking of that kind of energy, we have the Magician here, which I love the Magician. It's one of my favorite cards. It just gets you energized when you see it because it's so powerful. The Magician, you know, it's the first card in a specific sense in the major arcana, and it's about creation and willpower and all of this, right? When the Magician comes up in a reading, it's a very clear sign to you that not only do you have the capability to work towards these things that you want, this goal that you have, but that you have the power to do it, you know? Like it's, I mean, you can even see like in this specific depiction and this specific card, the Magician here has these like magical little, I don't know what it is, around their hands and around their head, right? That's you right now. That's what it's trying to say, is make sure you're really tapping into the power that you have, right? So we do have this Eight of Wands reversed below that, which is kind of a discouraging card to see. But again, this reading is really encouraging you to not be discouraged by these kinds of things, which I guess I should say what it is first. Eight of Wands can reverse can represent like blockages or things just moving really slowly, some sort of obstacle. But again, just like I was saying here, I think in this case, it's not necessarily something, like sometimes we have these obstacles in front of us that are something that we need to fix. They're a sign that something isn't working quite right and we need to change something. But also, sometimes there's obstacles because there just is, you know, because that's just life and because life is complicated. And sometimes they're just things that you need to work around or adapt to, right? It's not necessarily something you have in your control. So given how this all looks, I think even though this is showing up here, I wouldn't worry about it. Again, like I just said, adapt to it. I don't think this is something that is, I mean, obviously this is a general reading, but I'm going to say generally speaking, I don't think that this is something that like you need to fix or you need to change, which means it's something that you should not get hung up on, right? It's something that you're better off just accepting and moving forward and doing your own magical little thing, you know? So besides all of this, one other thing that this reading wants to bring to your attention, some advice, kind of more on an emotional level going forward with all of this, is this King of Pentacles reversed, which I don't think I've ever described him like this before, but in this reading, I feel like it really, really fits. Scarcity mindset. That's what's really coming to mind with him right now. King of Pentacles reversed is somebody who is very greedy, who hoards the things that he has. It's like really reading Four of Cups to me right now. Or not Four of Cups, what's it called? Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. If you're familiar, but if for those of you who are not, it's like, you know, you worked really hard for this, these material things, right? The money, the financial stability, the financial comfort and whatever, or comfort in whatever sense. But you're so scared of losing it that you're like holding on to it. And it's all very fear-based. That's what this is feeling like right now. And granted, given the context of this reading, I don't necessarily know if you're quite at this spot, this King of Pentacles spot, but like, I still feel like that's some sort of mindset or thing in your head that you're better off dealing with and working through now before you really get to the true success that will come with all of this. I mean, I'm assuming that it will. We do have 9 of Cups here. I don't want to sound like I'm promising anything, but that is what it looks like. But what I'm saying is when this, if and when, but I'm just going to say when you achieve your goals, when you get to the spot that you want to be in, that you're working towards, you don't want to get there and just feel fear of it going away, right? You want to enjoy it. You want to feel proud of what you did, and you want to be able to share what you can with others in this very loving way, right? Rather than, like, for example, if you're working towards some sort of job or some sort of specific position in your career, and you finally get there, you spend all of this time getting to this spot that you've always wanted, and then you're just, like, scared of it being taken away the whole time, right? Or, you know, you have all of your wants and needs met, but you're just, like, scared to spend any money because you're scared that if you do one wrong thing, it's all going to go away. That kind of stuff, right? It's knowing how to manage and accept and embrace and love this thing that you've worked so hard for, right? So granted, we do have nature reversed below it, which is a very good sign because it tells me that, well, I'll say this nature card, it's the equivalent is the devil, which isn't a super complex card in itself, but this one in particular from this particular deck is kind of complicated to explain. So I'm just going to really simplify it in this case. With the nature card, it represents kind of giving in to the human part of you, right? Like with what we're talking about here, it's a very natural and normal reaction to have, right? Like, you know, working really hard to get to where you want to be, and then you get there, and then you're really scared of it being taken away, right? Like, that's not illogical. That makes perfect sense. That's a very, like, human, natural, normal feeling to have, right? But the problem is, just because it is that way doesn't mean that it's always the best response, right? It's the human thing. It's human nature. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to serve you in the best way possible, right? It's still something that needs to be worked through. Something that you will find so much more joy and peace if you can work through it and get to a more healthy mindset, right? So that's what, when it's reversed, that's what we're talking about, is being able to work through that. So that not only tells me that it is something you're very capable of doing, but I think for a lot of you, given that it looks like this is probably something you already are doing or something you already are thinking about, maybe it's in the back of your mind already. So this reading is not really giving you any super concrete advice, but I would just invite you to consider that idea, you know, really consider and imagine what it would be like. And honestly, how you think you're going to feel, right? What kinds of negative thought patterns might come up if you hit your goal, right? Because we're doing that not for the sake of scaring you out of your dreams or anything like that, but because we're dealing with that now rather than later, so that when you get to that point, you're good to go. You know what I mean? And honestly, I would argue that it will probably bring you quicker to your goal, right? So, Gemini moons. I'm going to leave it there. I think that this was a fairly straightforward reading, but I hope I was able to communicate it effectively. But if you have any questions about this, here's Cheralyn. Say hi to Cheralyn. If you have any questions about this, or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. On the shorts part of my channel, I have over 200, God, that's so many, over 200 little shorts videos that really dive into each of the cards. I talk about their symbolism, their upright meaning, as well as their reversed meaning. So if there's any card in particular that you would like to learn more about, or are just feeling particularly drawn to, I highly recommend you go check that out. I'm actually going to say this too. I do recommend you take a look at the Magician one. I think that'll encourage you a little bit. But any of them, of course, you can take a look at there. So anyway, Gemini moons, I'm wishing you so much luck with this. I'm feeling very excited for you. And yeah, I'm curious to see what you're gonna do, how it's gonna go. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!